Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhamam Munirajasa Sunantu Sagga Most Venerable Ahangama Nayaka Thero, Chief Prelate of United States and Canada, the Abbot of Los Angeles Buddhist Vihara, Pasadena, the oldest, the senior most Sri Lankan monk in USA, and most venerable members of the Mahasangha, including Venerable Dhammathiti and all the other respected venerables. Dear friends in the Dhamma, it's always been a pleasure to be here at this beautiful temple. I always feel a very good energy when I enter this premises. And also I see some of those familiar faces. And I also found two people, two parakramas here. One parakrama is sponsoring the Katina, and the other one is sponsoring this Dhamma sermon along with the other friends. So today, I also gathered that this is the last sermon before the Katina ceremony. So maybe that also is can be very helpful if we can figure out. The topic I have actually selected today is part of my research, so bear with me if there are some more things that can be tedious or something maybe out of your mind. But I am trying to make it a little more meaningful to all of us. We all come to the temple. We practice the Dharma, right? How many of us think or really seriously interested in achieving our final goal, including all of us? What is our final goal? Nibbana? Everyone's final goal is Nibbana? Are you sure? Everyone? Very confirmed? Okay. So, what do you do to achieve that Nibbana? Are we working enough to achieve that Nibbana? Or do we know the reality? Do we know the path to Nibbana? How many of you are interested in really, if we want to achieve this Nibbana in this very life itself? Not really interested? It's a hard question, right? It's a difficult question to answer. But we should be confirmed. We should be confident of our journey before taking a giant leap. Do we really practice, or do we really follow the path? Or are we really confident? Do we have that urge within ourselves? Can we really achieve that thing? Are we in the right path? What are the problem areas that we have? What are the weaknesses that we have in achieving that Nibbana? Maybe some thoughts for you. And you know, the Vassana period or the rains retreat, this is a very important, very significant period to all of us. Why? It is a time for all of us to think, you know, the monks especially, they think of their own spiritual journey, right? So in the past, so many thousands and thousands of Arahants have come into this world within this 3 months period. So many stories are there in the Tibetan. Many monks have gone through very difficult paths. And let me bring you an example. It's not only the knowledge. Even if you know the path, it doesn't really make you to cross the river. Still there should be so many other things. There was one monk. He was very educated, in the meditation, and he had many disciples, and he was teaching in his meditation ashram, and then many students followed his Dhamma teaching, and then many of them achieved different kinds of stages, and some of them, or even Arahanta. And one of the disciples, actually he could read the other's mind. What do you call it? What do you call it? When you can read the other's mind? telepathic. Yeah, something like telepathy, or what we call Dibbuchakku, Parachitta Vijnana, right? So they also have clairvoyance. They can read things and that the other people cannot read or see. They can hear things that the other people cannot hear. Cross the walls and far distance, they can hear things. And this venerable monk, he wanted to read his own teacher's mind. He wanted to see how was his status. And then he found he was very educated, he is very good in teaching, and by following his teachings, many of his followers can actually achieve the Arahanta, but he himself has not achieved any status. Then he thought it is time to intervene, and then he went to meet him. And then he asked the teacher, respected Venerable Sir, I want to make an appointment with you. Venerable, can you please give me a time for that? He said, I cannot give you a time, I'm really busy. And then he tried to find a day, like for many days, for many weeks, he's busy, all the time occupied with some form of teaching. It's a good thing though, but he was busy. And then the monk said, maybe if I can meet you during the lunchtime, when you are taking lunch. He said, no, somebody is coming to meet me. Oh, every time, he could not find 5 minutes for his meeting. Then this young Arahant, he actually gave him a real blow. Oh, Venerable Sir, what are you doing? You are so busy. You don't have time for anything. You are super busy. And this is like you are helping others, but you are not helping yourself. You are putting yourself into so much trouble, and you don't get anything out of it, and you are nothing actually, he said. And this really hit him very hard. It shocked him. And this monk who was so busy, working, helping, teaching, and all that stuff, he stopped everything. He stopped everything. He ran away in the night, in the disguise of, under the cover of darkness. He went to the jungle, and then he observed Vassana, rain's retreat, just like these days. And he is very confident of himself, his knowledge about the Dhamma, the path. He knows each and everything, A to Z. And then he thought, okay, I will observe this Vassa as a normal monk, but I will complete this Vassa as an Arahant. That's an amazing determination, right? So in the Vassana season, many monks, they do that kind of a determination, sheer determination, sternness, stability. That's a very good thing. So all the monks, we do that. Even we, now it's maybe kind of like not that way, but there are still some monks who are really following that path. And for us, like when we were studying, we were supposed to finish some book, maybe some Tripitaka book we finish reading, or we do chanting, maybe the whole Majjima Nikaya we chant during this period, or Patthana or something, So some kind of a determination. Or every day, morning 1 hour, evening 1 hour meditation, something for our spiritual upliftment. We try to find something meaningful to all of us. And for you also actually can do that. You also can think of something like that every day. Maybe every Vasana period when you invite the Mahasangha members, you can think of yourself, I should quit smoking. I should quit alcohol. I have this problem. Maybe I should do something. Somebody said to me, he determined himself to walk every day. That's a good thing too, right? So something, some meaningful, some positive thing that all of us can have in our life. Maybe you learn some whole Dhammapada, you learn some Digha Nikaya 32 suttas, Majjima Nikaya 152 suttas, something, Oh, why not? I should achieve first jhana. Who knows? You never know. There is always a chance. Only if you try, you will get the result. And those things are like the Buddha is so far and above, beyond. So if you think, oh, I'm so far away from that, then you keep your gap forever, distance forever. You don't try to reduce the gap. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe the Vasana season is a time for all of us, to have that sheer determination for our spiritual goal. All of us say every time, at the end of this samsara, by the power of all this merit, may we achieve Nibbana. We say that, right? We really have to work towards that. Maybe a Vasana season is something that we have to work it out. So this monk, he was thinking, determining, kept on meditating. He kept meditating and meditating day and night. First week went, nothing. Second week, third week, first month, second month, nothing happened. Nothing happened. And then he concluded his Vasa period as a normal, gentle monk. He felt very upset. Oh, what is the use of my knowledge? I can't do that. And then he didn't give up. You have that never say thy spirit. And then he thought to himself, okay, I will work still. Before next Vasana period, I will observe the next Vasana as an Arahanta. He had that, he had that spirit in him, and then he kept meditating. And the Vasana season came, nothing happened. And then again he started. Every time he started, again and again, he kept doing it for years and years and years and years, but he couldn't do it. It was very hard. Finally, when he was very old, it is said that he could somehow achieve his final goal. That is one example. It is also said, while he was walking, sometimes he was very tired, frustrated, depressed. Himself, he started crying. And then he heard another one crying. He was looking, who is that crying? And then there was a tree guard. He was crying. Then this monk asked, why are you crying? Then the tree guard asked, why are you crying? He was saying, I am crying because I am trying so hard. I am trying to gain some, meditation power, my Arahanta. I cannot achieve it. So I am so frustrated, so I am so upset, I am crying. So the Deva said, you are trying by crying, I am also following you. I thought maybe by crying I could also achieve that. That insulted him more. Things like that happened all throughout his exercise. That was a real hard journey for him. Yes, that is the problem. That's not so easy. That's not so easy. So we really have to make it a very strong determination if we want to achieve something. At least in our life, if all of us as wonderful Buddhists, most of us are born Buddhists, our families, forefathers, all Buddhists, Sri Lankan community, most Buddhist, our parents have built temples. We have been visiting temples every time, done so many things. anywhere near that spiritual goal? Do we still act like any other person? We have to ask ourselves. I know myself where I am. Every single one of you know where you are. So maybe it's a good time, it's a high time for all of us to look into yourself, talk to yourself, very critically approach your own standpoint. Where am I? What am I doing? What should I do? How should I do? So only if you do that, there will be a chance somewhere a bright spot can come. There can be a twisting point of your life if you think. Only if we accept, okay, only if we accept my fault, we have a chance to rectify that. Or if we always try to justify, oh, this is life, or we are still on the way, we still, at least we go once a month into the temple, so that's good enough. So we try to, make some excuse. That means we are really in the utmost darkness, what we call avijja, ignorance. We have to be really careful and critically approaching ourselves. Okay, so my thesis is about Arahanta ideal, philosophy of Arahanta ideal as depicted in the Mahanidesapali. I selected this book because Mahanidesapali is one of the Khuddaka Nikaya books that has not yet been translated into English. So when I was reading some of my literary review, I found maybe this is a great contribution to the original knowledge, because it has not yet been translated. Nobody has ever tried to translate it into English. I talked to Bhikkhu Bodhi, one of the foremost Pali translators in the world today, and he said when he kept reading few pages, he felt so tired. It's actually a very dry linguistic book. It's hard. It's kind of commentary. So when I was reading that book, I also found I had to find a theme, and then I found many references in that book, many definitions, so many definitions of the book, and which gives regard to this Arahanta ideal. So I thought, okay, Arahanta ideal as depicted in the Mahanidesapali. That is my topic. And today I selected Majjima Nikaya. How many suttas are there? 152 suttas are there in Majjima Nikaya. Maybe next Vassa season you can try. At least some suttas, maybe first 10 suttas, at least you will find a lot of things. In Majjima Nikaya, there are few formulas. Actually, the Arahanta ideal has been depicted anywhere, in every Pitaka and Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Everywhere you can find it. And I selected Majjima Nikaya. I could find 4 formulas, and so this can be very interesting. Let's see how much we can discuss. Kina jati usitam brahmacharyam katam karaniyam naparam ittathaya. This is the first formula. Okay, we will discuss the meaning later. Formula B, eko upakatto appamatto atapi pahitatto viharanto nachirasaya yasathaya kulaputto sammadeva agarasma anagaryam pavvajanti tadanuttaram brahmacharya pariyosana ditteva dhamme sayana abhinya sachikatva upasampajya vidhati. This is another formula. Formula C, khinasavo usitam kata karaniyo ohita bharo anupatta sadatho parikhina bhava sanyojano sammadanya vimutto. Formula D, akupava me vimukti ayamanti maja tinapida nipunam. So this one is very significant because some of the, like as many as maybe 40 suttas, we have many references to this ideal or these formulas we can find. So what is Arahant? What do you think is Arahant? What is the meaning of Arahant? Who is Arahant?
One of the highest stages, just below the Nirvana.
Just below the?
Like Nirvana.
Just below the Nirvana?
I thought Arahant is then next Nirvana.
The Arahant is next to Nirvana?
No, the Arahant is
below Nirvana. Okay, what about the others? Do you have the same idea?
A person who has got rid of all the
What is it?
A person who has got rid of all the defilements.
So is it similar to Nirvana?
No,
It's below.
well, it's similar to Nirvana.
Similar to Nirvana. So you don't agree with him?
No.
What about you? What do you think of Arahant? Who is Arahant? Who is Arahant?
actually the example the Buddha is he gained enlightenment, but there's Mahakastapa, Saripala, they gained Arahant.
Okay, that is not enlightenment.
That's right. That was my impression.
Buddha also is Arahant, right?
Yes.
We say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahant Samma Sambuddha. Buddha is also Arahant. Actually, Arahant also is enlightened one. That is also enlightened one. And Arahant means also, what is the meaning? Like in day-to-day speech, colloquial terms also we say, Ekanamata Arahant. What does that mean? That means it's not suitable for me, right? That is completely different connotation, right? Yeah, and also like Arahant also means the Buddha rehearsing what Paul said, right? Even in secret, he didn't commit any mistake. That's an amazing nature, pure sublime nature of the Arahanta. So the Arahants are also like that. Buddha himself was an Arahant, and all thousands and thousands of Arahants are also like that. I think Arahant, concept of Arahant is not only in our tradition, even in Jain tradition, they have this concept, Arahant, they also have this. So that concept already was known to other concepts. Even the Buddha, concept of Buddha, they knew that. So somewhere little different though. So Arahant means a perfected person, right? I found so many people who have written about Arahanta. I was so surprised to see a book in our library written by an Arahant. He has mentioned his name is Arahant and something, I don't remember that, I didn't want to open the book. But there is, I think, Daniel Ingram or something, he calls himself an Arahant. So he said, it's good to say I'm an Arahant. Okay, so, and nowadays it's even more, we see many things happening everywhere, right? People call themselves Buddha, people call themselves Arahant, some people give them, the other people certificates. Oh, you are Sotapanna now, you are Sakadagam now. We have to be really very careful now. And the Dharma is available. So sometimes people, the way they talk, I sometimes feel, are they possessed by the Mara? Really, we we feel like that. The way they talk, the way they interpret the Dharma is really amazing. It's really, but things like that has happened even in the Buddha's time. So it can happen even today. I invite you all, please read the Dhamma yourself. These texts, everything is available freely, so we can read ourselves. Arahant is a man or a woman who has won perfection here and now. And Arahantship has a highly desirable state to be won here and now. The Arahant and Arahantship, so regarded, are the offspring of monastic Buddhism. So everyone, this is a very unique status of Buddhism, because many other religions, they say their final goal is achieved after death, right? But in Buddhism we say we achieve our final goal when we are alive, not after death. So that's very unique thing. And all of us can select, can become Buddha if we want. Each and every one of you has the Buddha nature. You can be a Buddha if you want. Man, woman, anyone can be a Buddha. You can fulfill paramitas, you can be a Buddha. And if you want to be a Pacceka Buddha, you can do that too. Or if you want to be an Arahant, you can do that too. So Sambuddhas are very special. They have to fulfill more paramitas and they have to suffer more in the samsara. Many of us don't want to suffer so much in the samsara, so we try to find the shortcut to nirvana. Maybe an arahanthood is a good way. And Pacceka Buddhas also are self-realized people. They are not born into this world when the Sambuddhas are born. That's a different thing. And Sambuddhas are able to convince the Dhamma to the others, teach the Dhamma so that all of them can also follow and achieve the Dhamma. So there are different things. And the Arahant is also a realized, finally liberated one, enlightened one. He is also an enlightened one. But he needs the help of the Buddha to do that. Without the Buddha's help, he cannot do that. If you want to be an Arahant, now you can. Why? We have the Buddha's Dhamma. So we can follow that Dhamma. As long as the Dhamma is followed, practiced, the world is not empty of Arahants. So it's a good chance we still have. And there will be some time in the world where you don't even hear the word Dhamma. So we are so lucky today. We have so many places, so many sources, so many resources that we can learn the Dhamma from. So it's good to have very good spiritual friends, some good Dhamma teachers, and also all of us have to follow that path. And then life is so full of glorious uncertainties, remember that. We never know what and how and where the Mara comes and take us away. So we have to work, we have to do something. The time is short. Life is full of impermanence. So it's available in Majjima Nikaya, these suttas, and some of those people who have written about certain topics of this Arahanta ideal. Bhikkhu Analayo is a very famous monk who has written about the sixfold purity of an Arahant according to Chabisodana Sutta. And Bhikkhu Analayo also wrote another book actually about Bakula Hamdru. And Bhikkhu Bodhi also has written the same thing about Susima's conversation with the Buddha. But it's another, Susima Sutta also is a very powerful sutta. And I found G.D. Pond in 1984, he has also written on the development and elaboration of the Arahanta idea in Thero. So many suttas are there. One Sri Lankan Lily De Silva in 1987, He also has written a book, The Buddha and the Arahanta Compared. I Beholder was very interesting. He has written a very good book, Early Buddhist Theory of Man Perfect. Man Perfect is Arahant, and study of the Arahant concept. Like that, there are so many books written on this subject. Many books are written on this subject. So it's time to think of these things, and it's time to learn these things and follow the Dhamma. Maybe the realization of the Dhamma. How does Arahanthood how is Arahanthood achieved? How do we achieve that? What happened? Yes? By sitting, closing our eyes, meditating, we can achieve Arahanthood, right? We can achieve Arahanthood actually. It's not like you do, maybe you take some medicine or you go to another world or something like that. No, actually we look into ourselves. We have perfect realization of the Dhamma. That is how we achieve Arahanthood, right? And then we are all kind of trapped into this whirlpool of samsara. We are all trapped in that. We keep moving and we can't get rid of it. So we have to somehow decode how to get rid of this. It doesn't happen just like that. We are all in a way trapped. We have to realize that ourselves, and then we have to decode that, and then we can come out of this, and then we can stop this samsara. So in many Pitakas, Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka, all of them, they talk about the Arahanthood, but I don't want to talk much about them. We will go directly to Majjima Nikaya. Many dialogues of the Majjima Nikaya, like the first sutta, number 1, 2, 4, 6, 11, 27, 112, they all talk about this formula that I was talking about. And then Arahanta definition is given here. It describes the Arahant in whom the asavas are destroyed. Asava, anasava, or khinasava we call it, right? So they are also khinasava. Asavas are destroyed. Who has lived the life? They have lived their life, done the task, laid down the burden. Ohita bharo means laid down the burden, just like a bird. With only the burden of the wing, they can fly. They don't take anything. Everything left behind. We can do that, right? Even if we go to some city or we have some bag with us. So all of them are completely liberated mentally and spiritually, and won his own welfare, worn out the fetters of river, no more river. Kina jati usitam brahmacharya khatam karaniyam. They have done their life, no more river, and is released by perfect insight. They themselves can realize that they are in that situation. When they are into that, they themselves can realize. That is also a kind of jnana they have. And one who is released without grasping. So the four formula, as I said, the first one is destroyed is rebirth. So when Prince Siddhartha, you know the four signs, we have the four signs here in the temple, do we have? The four signs, what are the four signs he saw? He saw when he went out, he saw an old man, and then he saw a sick man. He saw a dead body, and he saw a monk. So when he saw the old man, he started to realize, oh, everyone is getting old. my father, my mother, my wife, everyone, I myself am getting old. No matter how rich you are, how educated you are, even the most powerful king in the world can become old. He was really worried about that. Really, all of us are getting old, but we never feel that. Right? Look the way the Buddha thinks. And then he saw the other man, the sick man. Everyone is getting sick. I'm getting sick. My wife is getting sick. My child is getting sick. My father, everyone who was close to me getting sick. How can I get rid of that? How can I stop that? Medicine will not help. Right? Medicine cannot heal everything. And then the other day he saw the dead body. These are not simple things. These are not simple things. These are very powerful things that for us to learn. The Bodhisattva changed his life, the whole course of his life after seeing this. He saw everyone is dying. Oh my Buddha, everyone is dying. I myself will die, my father will die, my wife, my child, everyone will die. So how can I stop that? Can we stop that? That was a hypothesis he had. Okay. We all do hypothesis at the beginning. And then he saw the monk. He asked his charioteer, who is that? He is a monk searching for the truth. A truth seeker. Okay, this is a good, maybe a try. So all of them were trying so hard. This is how the world started to change. Because of one person thinking against the stream, swimming against the stream, and we have been, millions and millions of us have been benefited because of him. And then he was suffering so much. He underwent so many suffering. He even stopped breathing, can you imagine? He didn't eat. He did all the other things. He followed the other people. Whatever they did, he followed. Not because he was blind, but he maybe, they were also trying. Some people were immersed in the water, thinking that all the akusalas can be washed away. Some people, you can't blame them, They tried. At least we don't try, they tried. And then some people were trying to burn away the defilements by having some fire all around. Try. That's how people try, at the beginning you fail, but somewhere, somehow you can succeed. So what happened? He found the journey and he found the path and finally he got it. And then he could say, destroy this rebirth. No more rebirth for me now. He realized it. He realized it. Lived is the good life. Whatever the best life I have lived. Done is what had to be done. Whatever I had to do, I finished that. And now there is no more of this state of things. And alone, withdrawn, zealous, ardent, with a self that has triumphed. So some of them, can be very alone, very withdrawn. Maybe they don't talk too much. They talk very little, but can be very powerful. That's why the Buddha said, if you don't have anything to talk, just keep quiet. Noble silence. So thousands of monks in the temple, they make no noise. Pin drop silence. Once King Ajatasattu was so scared to go to the temple because it was so calm, so silent, because they were practicing. They didn't have anything to talk, so they keep quiet. So the temple should be quiet. If you don't have good things to say, nothing to share in the Dhamma, keep quiet, gives us a chance to look into ourselves. That's a very good thing. So the Arahant in whom the asavas are destroyed, who has greatly lived, who has done what ought to be done, who has shed his burden and has won his aim, whose bonds to becoming are now no more, is having rightly come to know and set free. This is a very powerful statement, how they become free just like that. When you are free, you don't have any fear. Mostly what we have, when we have things, we are fearing of losing. When we don't have things, we want it. I want that. You have that feeling, right? But when we have that, you fear, I might lose it. So all the time we are not happy. And those people who are liberated, they don't have any attachment. They are liberated. They don't have any worry. They don't have any fear. That is something, what we call set free. And there arose in me the knowledge. You see, they also have the knowledge. Unshakable for me is release of mind. This is my last birth. They can feel it. They can sense it. I am not going to be born anymore. There is now no further becoming for me. Nati jati, punambhava. No more rebirth for me. That is why Prince Siddhartha, even he was a small boy, he said that. This is my last birth. Ayamanti majati, nati jati, punambhava. We cannot say that. But the knowledge arises in us when we are in that situation. So these are the 4 formulas. So there are many sutras and many explanations into this. I recommend, if you have time, John T. Agard, Faith and Knowledge in Early Buddhism, an analysis of the contextual structures of an Arahant formula in the Majjima Nikaya. It's a wonderful book. You better read if you have. John T. Agard, Faith and Knowledge in Early Buddhism. You can find more information about this. Okay, I would like to leave this open maybe for a little bit of discussion. If you have any questions, these are the 4 formulas, and this is the Arahanthood that is in front of us. That is our final goal. And remember, we cannot be Buddha now. We cannot be Pacceka Buddha now in this life, but we can be Arahant if we really want to. Let's see how you think, what you feel, and the discussion is over. Thank you.
So going back to our original conversation, so the Buddha, I agree that Buddha passed, so on Sakudagami, Anagami, then Arahant, then became Buddha. But priests like Mahakassapa, Nivithigala, those priests, they also came to the Arhat level, but they didn't become Buddha. So that, are they also went through that different jnanas like Kubbe Nivana Suttu Jnana, Dibba Chakku Jnana, the Nadiyam, that they also attained Paticcasamuppada, and they also did follow the same path like Buddha to become the enlightened and called Arhat? Or the Buddha had some special gain the time that he gained enlightenment? Is there a difference?
See, the Arahanthood means you destroy all your defilements. So sometimes Arahanthood does not necessarily incorporate with all those great jnanas, great knowledges like those Dibba Chakku, Dibba Sota Kupeni. Some of them can. They are like, it is said Sukha Vipassaka, like Venerable Chakkupada, he didn't have Dibba Chakku and all. but he is completely liberated. That means he has destroyed his, decoded his samsaric existence. He will not be born anymore. And yes, he is completely liberated in that sense. He is similar to the Buddha himself. But there are many jnanas, many knowledges that the Buddha uniquely had and the others don't have. That is there. But Arahanta is a liberated person, an enlightened person. And now we have the guidance of the Buddha, we can be an Arahant. That is possible.
The other question I have is, like you mentioned that we are born as Buddhists, and I know the Majjima, the great priest, and Dalai Lama, and then Ampiti Rahul and Swaminasa. How come we have never heard any of those well-respected Buddhist monks, anybody has become Arahant? That's a little bit discouraging for people like me.
Okay.
Even the great Buddhist monk like Dalai Lama, we have never heard that they have gained Arahant. So how can a normal person like me?
Okay. Okay, so you don't have to compare with them anyway. Like that monk, you know,
Right.
He became an Arahant, his teacher didn't become Arahant.
That's true.
One. Plus, I attended a 10 days retreat in Big Bear few months ago, and some of the monks who were also connected to some of those big monks, and then who passed away recently, and they said to me actually, many of those great Sri Lankan monks, they did not want to be an Arahant. They did not want to be an Arahant. They wanted to be a Buddha. You understand? So if you want to be a Buddha, you cannot be Sotapanna now. Right? You cannot be Sotapanna if you want to be an Arahant, or Buddha.
Why? Because of that. Because the defilement is still there. Because you want to be Buddha.
See, now this is the Buddha's time, Gautama Buddha's time. There is no chance for somebody to be a Buddha. If you become Sotapanna now, within 7 births you will be, maximum within 7 births you will be an Arahant. Okay. So, in order to be a Buddha, you have to fulfill more paramitas in the samsara. So most of these great leaders, they suffer for the benefit of the others. So when you go with the team, you lead the team, your work is always delayed. They sacrifice their well-being, welfare for the benefit of the others. So they suffer. So their samsaric existence is more. If you want to be an Arahant, I want to be an Arahant. I don't want to, deal with all these things. There are people like that. That's also okay. Many of us are like that. That's okay. Better than nothing. You don't harm anyone. And those great Arahants also can be great inspiration to many others. But to be a Buddha and to be an Arahant, very different. Yes.
Theravada, we as Theravada Buddhists, we think a little different in this Arahant concept as opposed to the Mahayana. Specifically, we think, or correct me if I'm wrong, that we have to understand the true nature of existence in order to achieve Arahant's state. That's a remarkable difference between Theravada and Mahayana. And also, my question to you is, can you go straight, given that, if we establish that fact, can you go straight to being Arahant, or do you have to follow the Sovan, Sakkadagami, Anagami? You have to follow those steps, or can you go directly to that status if you understand the true nature of existence?
There are some who really have to work very hard, maybe years of practice. There are some, suddenly they become Arahant, right? You hear stories like that. For example, there was one person called Pukusati. He came to the Buddha and he said, just give me the shortcut to Arahant. shortcut to Nirvana. I don't want to go more details. The Buddha said, okay, take care of your 5 senses. That is the shortcut to Arahanthood. Take care of your 5 senses. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, you taste, you touch. This is where we do all the karma. Where we accrue all the karma through this. We have the the ego, I, me, myself, I making, I building. We do that through these things, right? When I see something, oh, this is beautiful, pleasing. And something when I see, oh, unpleasant. So we react to them. So we create karma, right? Whenever I see something, I feel attached to that, I create karma. And I am angry, I create karma. So let it go. You know, how does that happen? It's a very powerful realization. And also your question, could you please repeat the second part again?
The fact that, you know, Theravada, Buddhism and Mahayana is, you know, they're different. It's quite different when it comes to the Arahantship. You know, we as Theravada Buddhists believe that you have to understand the true meaning of existence and, you know.
Okay, I got it. So what happens is because of our own paramitas, okay, we all have to fulfill some kind of paramitas. So some people, they are very highly matured, they can easily become Arahant. And so it doesn't take much time for them. But they are already into that. Even if they are like, you know, born into a, not necessarily Buddhist, okay, but suddenly they see something, a split of a second, some inspiration, some light, some word is good enough for them to open up for their complete liberation. They can make it. But some really, we have to work very hard, meditate. Like that month, he had to really meditate so much. So some, because he is not fulfilled enough, he has not fulfilled enough paramita himself. So we never know, we don't know where we are now. So we really have to work. And remember, if we don't try, some of those things will never come to you. Like if you try jhana this time, you know, you must have tried jhana many times in the past. So if you achieve some jhana, this will help you in future too. Within seconds, you can achieve jhana in future too. Because you have that habit. Karma is also a kind of habit. So the more good habits we have, the more good karma, more positive energy we have. We have to make sure we are so full of good habits and good karma all the time with us, so that the bad karma effect will not come to us. So there is less chance for them to be affected by the bad karma if we do more and more good things. Because our brain chemistry changes, we can change our brain chemistry. If we all the time keep positive thinking, happy, smile, compassionate, generous, imagine you don't get angry for 1 week, what happens to your system? Your brain chemistry changes, right? So we can be enlightened somewhere, somehow. We can be close to that. That's part of our practice. So the Arahanthood in Mahayana, the way they define is a little bit different, yes. They think Arahanthood is very selfish. Arahant is very selfish person. He wants to achieve realization only by himself. And the Buddha, they all want to become Buddha. For example, Nivithigala Bodhisattva, he would say, his Bodhisattva vow is very inspiring. He said, I don't want to become Buddha unless the last hell being is released. Can you imagine? That's a beautiful thought, right? I think it's very inspiring thought. But having said that, Arahanthood itself is a very powerful thing. Everyone cannot be a leader, right? Not everyone can be a leader. So only a few people can be a leader. Buddhas also, like all the 2,500 years, we heard only one Buddha, but we heard many Arahants. So not everyone can become Buddha. If everyone can become Buddha, the samsara will be even more longer. It's good if we can, but you all can try. You have to decide. Each and every one of us has that free will, like very independent free will. We have in Buddhism free choice. I can select, I can choose if I want to be the Buddha. I can select the path. That's really amazing. So the Mahayana people, they would say only by becoming Buddha they can be liberated. But we Theravadins said we can be Buddha, Samma Sambuddha, we can be Pacceka Buddha, or we can be Arahant. In three ways we can actually become liberated. That is why they call us Hinayana. They also call themselves Mahayana, great vehicles. So we said we have a lesser vehicle, we can still cross the river, even with the help of less. So that's kind of, maybe now some people are a little more, they feel offensive, sometimes they are called like Hinayana. So I know like sometimes in the university, some students are a little more reluctant to call ourselves Hinayana because that is lesser vehicle. But whatever it is, it's important. Sometimes these Mahayana practices, they also very pure, amazing practitioners are there. And they also follow Theravada tradition. Remember, they are also having meditation. For example, Dhyana become Dhyana in Sanskrit, and when it went to China, mainland China, it became Chan. And it went to Japan, it became Zen. So that is the same lineage. And those monks who went to mainland China at the beginning, they were just mostly Theravada monks. They went there. So they were practicing in the mountains. And that's why in the mountains they had big Buddha statues, because they wanted to practice Buddhanusati. There were many cases. And in Dunhuan caves you find thousands and thousands of Buddha paintings of many Japakates and all, our meditation practices and all. They also did that. We can't undermine their practice too. They have their own ways somehow. And we also, you cannot guarantee, because just because we are so-called Theravada, are we practicing the real path? Are we in the true path? Or are we just beating the bush around? We have to think, right? So it doesn't necessarily guarantee, I'm a born Buddhist, my family is Buddhist, or my mother, father, or Buddhist, brother, sister. I come to the temple, my journey is safe. No. No way. We really have to work very hard to make it happen.
I think
then also we have to wait till another Buddha comes to become Arahant, because what I found during the Buddha's period, you found like there are so many individuals that became Arahant so fast and quick. So like within some individuals, within one verse given, and within that time they became Arahant.
Okay, you see what, because the Buddha was not going alone. He had many thousands of followers going with him. They descended all the way with him from the heavens. They were all matured, very ripe. They were just about to bloom. Okay. So they were born here and they are scattered everywhere in India, everywhere. And then they found the light, because they found their master. They were connected to him like a magnet. They were connected to him somewhere, somehow they found her. So their previous good karma, they were ripe already, just about to bloom. That's why even within seconds, they could achieve Arahanta. And you don't have to wait till the Maitri Buddha. Who knows, even then, how many Buddhas do you think you have met so far? You must have met many Buddhas. Even our Gautama Buddha we must have met. You must have given Dharma to him. That's why you are so close to the Dharma. You still have that feeling, connection, because we are somehow, somewhere close to the Buddha. But we didn't follow it. We didn't somehow, have that good karma to follow. So we have to make it happen. And if we wait till the Maitri Buddha and only pray, okay, may the Maitri Buddha come and we will all be liberated, do you think it will happen? No, not necessarily, right? There are chances, but not necessarily, like the Chunda Sukarika who was sitting, living next to Buddha's temple, did not become Arahanta.
So you just mentioned that Sariputta, Moggallana, Mahakassapa, they were all Arahant. The person who associated the closest with the Buddha, Ananda, took so much long.
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because he was so much attached to the Buddha. He was so passionate about the Buddha. He could not, he went round 3 times, circumlocuted the temple 3 times a night with the lamp on his palm, taking care of the Buddha. He was very concerned. That's why the more you are attached, it's difficult to come out of your defilements, right? And after the parinirvana only, he could do that. Remember that. The attachment even to the Buddha is not helpful. That's why the Buddha said, look at the Dharma, see the Dharma and see myself. There was one monk, right? He was looking at the Buddha all the time because he was so nice, so pleasing. So this monk, he became a monk just to look at the Buddha. He was so happy to see the Buddha. There are some people, like when some certain monks come, they all follow him everywhere. They don't necessarily follow the teaching, they just follow him. Just looking at him, oh my teacher, whatever, And that monk was looking at the Buddha all the time. And Buddha magically created a woman, very beautiful woman, fanning the Buddha, and after a while she became old and then she fell down. He just taught him a lesson. Life is not permanent. And that's about, I think, that's about Kema, right? Kema Upalavana. So this monk, when he was looking at the Buddha said, look at the Dhamma. By looking at me, my physical body, you don't get anything. Look at the Dhamma, then you look at me. Then you see me. See the Dhamma. See me. We can see the Buddha by seeing the Dhamma. By seeing the Dhamma, you will be liberated. Hope every one of us will be inspired by tonight's little bit Dhamma talk. Every time you look at the Buddha, try to look at the Dhamma. Every time you somehow look at the Dhamma, there is a chance, even before the Maitreya Buddha, that's thousands of years later, we can become Arahant. And who knows, where is the guarantee that we will be born in a good realm, in the Maitreya Buddha, right? If we do some bad karma, if we are born in hell realm, where is the guarantee that we can become Arahant? No chance. So make sure, try to do whatever we can. Also be born in good realms, and also in association with good friends, spiritual friends, and also with the right path, right Dhamma. Then only we have a chance. Let's try somehow, somewhere. I suggest to all of you, try to at least achieve first jhana in this lifetime. At least. That will be a good good dream for all the Buddhists. Yes?
Swami, yeah, I was thinking the reason that we don't achieve any margapala is because we don't have the trihetuka pratisandhi. Is
Yeah.
it because of that?
So how do we know? Only if you try, right? You know. How do you know? Maybe you have that.
Yeah.
Maybe you have that. Right? You only have to try. Even if you have the trihetuka pratisandhi, if you don't try, it doesn't make any sense. So you have to try, and then maybe that thing will come and give you the good fruit. Already, maybe chances are, many of us have the qualification, but we don't try. If we don't try, it will be a waste opportunity. It will be a waste opportunity. So please don't give up hope. And there will always be a chance for us to be an Arahant or Sotapanna or Jhanas. They will always guarantee some, good, happy, joyful, blissful, spiritual path ahead of us. Thank you so much. By listening to this Dhamma, I think it was a little more time we expect. May all of you be well, happy and healthy. And most venerable Nayaka Thero was, I'm very honored to have him here. He said, I want to listen to Dhamma too, He said, I am also a Buddhist, I want to go there. I really felt, impressed. Sometimes he surprises us. And so that's very inspiring, and he came all the way to listen to the Dhamma. And thank you all the great venerable monks also. And this temple always is a very honorable place to visit. Thank you for inviting me, Dhammapitihamas and all the monks. Thank you for making this positive energy all the time high here. And we feel very energetic when we enter this beautiful place, right? Yeah. So make sure next week you are coming here for the Katina ceremony. And by the power of all the merits that you and I accrued today and before, may this temple flourish. May this temple be a beautiful place, full of energy, full of spiritual practice, so that all of us can gain some good energy and achieve our spiritual path. May all our family members, friends and relatives be well, happy and healthy by the power of this merit. May all the departed relatives also share this merit and be well, happy and healthy. May all the great monks who are here and all of you who are here and all the sentient beings, all the celestial beings share this merit. Be well, happy and healthy. May all of us be able to achieve the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.